Hi, this is Corey. Thank you for joining me on Ascension Thoughts. And we're going to start today with our series of on Ascended Masters. Our first Ascended Master is El Morya, and he is the Chohan, or the Master of the First Ray. I'm going to share a presentation with you. Move this little fellow over here. Okay, perfect. So, Ascended Masters, El Morya. What are Ascended Masters? Let me move myself over there. Okay. Ascended Masters in a number of movements and many theological traditions are held to be spiritually enlightened beings who in past incarnations were ordinary humans, but who have undergone a series of spiritual transformations called initiations. El Morya is the master or Chohan of the first ray of the divine light, and the color of his ray is blue. The white light from the divine source is divided into 12 color rays, which shine onto earth. The different colors of this source light influence each of us deeply and bathe us with a specific frequency for ascension and wisdom. What does El Morya assist with? El Morya represents action and is helping us with the changes that lay ahead for our own ascension. His blue ray represents protection, faith, and the will of God. El Morya represents the godly attributes of courage, certainty, power, forthrightness, self-reliance, dependability, faith, and initiative. These are the qualities of the father principle, the statesman, the executive, and the ruler. El Morya's past incarnations, the most popular version of his last incarnation was that he was born a Rajput prince in India, I think 1855, and later became a monk, frequenting the retreats of the Himalayas. Many argue, however, that he was recently incarnated as Osho Rajneesh, born Chandra Mohan Jan. And if you don't know, Osho was a very mystical and spiritual writer. And recently, people have gone into the Akashic records and found that Osho was actually an incarnation of El Morya. Other incarnations include Melchior, which was one of the wise men that gave mirth to baby Jesus, Abraham, King Arthur of Camelot, Thomas Becket, Archbishop of Canterbury, Akbar of the Mongol Emperor, and his first incarnation on this planet, this realm of Earth, was likely the Emperor of Atlantis in 220,000 BC, and he ruled from the capital city, and the city was the city of the Golden Gates. El Morya is the Chohan of the first ray and the chief of the Darjeeling Council of the Great White Brotherhood. I'm sure you've heard of the Great White Brotherhood before if you follow Ascended Masters. He is part of that group with Saint Germain, is another member of the Great White Brotherhood that help us with our ascension process, with downloads of information and assisting us with color frequency. So El Morya deals with initiation of the throat chakra, gifts of faith in God's will and the word of wisdom. His retreat is the Temple of Goodwill over Darjeeling, India. And some say also in Yosemite Valley, California. The vibration of his work is blue or white light. These notes, I guess, are Edward Elgin's Pomp and Circumstance, March #1. His gemstones, diamond, sapphire, star sapphire, and lapis lazuli. And qualities are power, goodwill, faith. And the day represented by him is Tuesday. which is today also. Quick prayer. Beloved El Morya, in the name of the Christ, charge my 4 lower bodies with the will of God and my divine blueprint. So some other interesting information about El Morya is that his number that represents him is the number 44. And it is said that he will soon be the Manu, the perfect man, whom the new root race of humanity with its 12 strands of connected active DNA will be based. And his affirmation is, I stand in my power. So earlier today, I prepared my altar space, the one in my living room. I also have one in my bedroom, but I prepared an area, and I actually, probably coincidentally or not so coincidentally, I had a bag of myrrh, and I totally forgot I had it. And I was like, oh, I think I have some frankincense and myrrh. So I prepared a little offering for El Morya, and I asked for him to give me a message. And the message I received was pretty profound. He said that we are in a time right now of a place that we don't trust our authority, and we need to get back to that sort of King Arthur of Camelot. And for us to do that again is something that we have to begin with internally and forgiving our own fathers and our own authority figures. This was not a message I wanted to hear, because pretty much my entire life I've fought against authority and actually my, my own father. But that message resonates, because when we come to a place that we're willing to not only forgive, but stand in our power and demand something better, see in our mind's eye a ruler, or just a role model. I don't even want to say a ruler, a role model, an example of integrity, of the true father energy that we can trust and follow. I think humanity right now has not had that for a very long time. And I think the assassination of JFK, think of what you will about his, private life or his antics. But I think that assassination had a profound effect. I know a lot on the older generation, but it just was a time when there was actually someone in office that was willing to say, I'm gonna, shatter the CIA into a million pieces, and we're going to get rid of this military industrial complex. So when he was assassinated, I think it killed a lot of that hope in people. And the message that I received was that we need to start healing our inner traumas, our inner wounds from the father archetype, for the ruler archetype. And when we start internally healing those father aspects, those masculine aspects, and we start collectively envisioning a better society, a Camelot, if you will, when we start to internalize that and really project that out there, that will come. And then I also received the message that just because he is representing a father archetype, it does not mean that women cannot step into it. Because essentially, for us to ascend to perfect being mastery, we need to be a balance of both the feminine and the masculine. And I think it's time right now to be in balance of that, but also to stand in my power and say, I will not stand for this anymore. And I know that I resonate deeply with that, because I am feminine. I present very feminine, but I definitely have masculine energy. I've been told that by a lot of people. And that may be because I've had lifetime after lifetime of being a man and a ruler. And I'm not sure, but I think that women cannot be afraid to stand up right now for our families, our children, our society, and demand something better. So today, if you get a chance, think about El Morya, maybe look up some information. Again, he is an initiative He initiates the throat chakra. Although when I thought about the blue flame just this morning, I felt it in two areas. I felt it in my root chakra and I felt it in my throat chakra. So meditate, feel that blue flame burning in you, and then just open yourself up to receive a message. It happened for me pretty quickly, and ultimately it was just about healing that father archetypal energy within us so that we can project that on the society that we want to build for our future. Right now, it's hard. We're not trusting the things that we see, and that's for a good reason because we shouldn't be trusting it because it's been all a bunch of bullshit. But we have to begin to stand in our power, demand something different, also forgiving that archetypal father figure within ourselves and projecting out into the community what it is that we want, not what we don't want, but what we want. We want a, a role model, a father type, someone that can lead us to a better civilization, a better way. And that starts internally. So today, on Tuesday, which is Morya's day, um, just meditate with him for a few minutes. And I want to thank you for inspiring me to do this series because as I focus on each ascended master, I get to also experience their energy, meditate on them, and get a divinely inspired message to pass on to you. Stay strong out there.